Please welcome Assemblymember Simcha Eichenstein.
Good morning, Governor, colleagues, friends. It's appropriate that the Governor has chosen to sign these three bills this week. Just a few days ago, the Jewish people observed the fast of Tisha B'Av, when we mourn the destruction of the temple over 2,000 years ago. On this day, we also reflect upon tragedies that have occurred over the centuries, most notably among them, the Holocaust. We must remember that the most heinous evil in history of mankind was perpetrated 80 years ago. And we must ensure our young people learn it and understand it. As a grandchild of 4 Holocaust survivors, I was fortunate to have heard first-hand stories of what they endured. Yet many younger generations lack basic knowledge of the Holocaust. I am honored to represent a district with the largest number of Holocaust survivors anywhere in the United States. They are absolutely my biggest heroes. They have lived through unspeakable horror, but instead of succumbing to grief and sadness, they rose from the ashes. They rebuilt, started new lives, new families, rebuilt communities, and they held on to their faith. Now it is our obligation to do whatever we can to protect them, to honor them, and to ensure their well-being. It's the least we can do. So that's why this bill that I sponsor with my colleague, Senator Myrie, and signed into law shortly by the Governor, is so significant. Thank you, Governor Hochul, for recognizing the importance of this bill. Unfortunately, as the Governor just mentioned, 40% of Holocaust survivors are living in poverty, and their main source of income is their reparation payments. When banks charge transaction fees, it may seem as insignificant to us, but it can add up to a substantial amount, especially for those that are reliant on these funds to pay for their groceries, their rents, and their daily needs. That is why it's important for the Department of Financial Services to publish and annually update a list of which banks have agreed to waive these fees and which banks haven't. And I want to commend the department for their willingness to do so, and I personally want to thank Superintendent Harris, who is here with us today. This simple and sensible legislation will ensure that thousands of Holocaust survivors are able to receive their rightful payments without getting hit with corporate transaction fees. So thank you, Governor Hochul, Senator Myrie, and to all my colleagues for supporting this legislation.